If I just say two words, Ken Burns, you immediately know where we're going and what we're about to see. But these days, you might want to add two more words to really understand how he brings history to life.
You can hear the crack of the bat in baseball, the bugle in Civil War.
I am proud of my blackness.
The words of Jackie Robinson or Muhammad Ali.
Whatever the persecution is for standing up for my religious beliefs.
Ken Burns and his daughter Sarah have taken us there, working side by side for 15 years now.
We have stuff planned out together for the end of the decade.
36-minute clip reel.
Yeah. We met Ken and Sarah in the Museum of Science where they debuted their new film.
Leonardo kind of insisted his way into this line of stuff.
Leonardo Da Vinci.
Think about different ways of telling a story because it's so far in the past, another language, another culture, that was really exciting.
Da Vinci's most famous work, the Mona Lisa. It is a still, yet you believe you see her throat pulsating.
Lo scorrere del sangue e quindi addirittura il battito del polso.
And that means that he has succeeded not just in giving you this sort of plausible figure in space with dimension, but a personality, a life, a beating heart. And that is impossible.
This latest documentary, the story of a person who painted two of the most famous artworks in history.
We know about Mona Lisa. We know about the Last Supper. What didn't we know about Leonardo da Vinci that we do know now?
So it's easy to think of Leonardo as this wizard with the long beard. You only ever see him this one way, right? We get to know him. What was he like as a young person? He was fun to be around. People loved being with him. He loved to sing and play music.
He's an anatomist, and he's a botanist, and he's interested in flight, and he's a sculptor, and he's a painter, and he's an artisan, and the reason why it's such a good story is that he was interested in knowing everything. You know, he made a model, a little glass model of the human heart. There was nothing like cardiac surgery at that time. It didn't exist. We confirmed that everything he had designed is true.
There's no film, there's no video, there isn't a TikTok video of what happened. I mean, you have to...
And we've got a biography of a person whose personal stuff is very meager. He left us thousands and thousands of pages of his thinking, of his philosophizing, of his experiments, of his observations, and that forms it.
Leonardo refined his drawings.
Ken Burns' films have turned millions of people into history lovers, and Sarah wants to make sure that love affair continues.
What's it like to work with your daughter?
It's so great. It's always, I mean, she's been watching this process since she was a little baby, you know, crawling underneath the editing tables when we're working in film.
So what's it like to work with your dad? Is he dad or is he Ken Burns?
No, he's dad.
He's dad.
He's dad. Yeah, it's very much a family business, sort of accidentally in the end, and sort of fitting the puzzle pieces together in the right way, how to tell a story.
And then use reason to prove why.
And after 50 years of telling stories, does this legendary creator have a favorite?
And I think I will cop out. Duke Ellington, who's the greatest, I believe, American composer, certainly the most prolific. Someone asked him, what's the most important, you know, composition? And he said, the one I'm working on now.
By the way, that's not copping out, because remember when you asked Tom Brady what's his favorite Super Bowl, he said the next one. But if you're wondering, what is Ken Burns working on now? He's working on the American Revolution right now. Leonardo da Vinci took 3 years to make. It is set to air later this month on PBS in two 2-hour segments. Ben and Erica, back to you.